Hello there, Halal Integrated Platform or HIP, powered by Halal Development Corporation, is a networking platform that connects the global halal ecosystem, equipping your business with a competitive edge. As a HIP member, you can engage internal HDC stakeholders and external strategic partners within the halal industry. So, what do you get as a HIP member? Here you go. You get financial facility, market access, human capital development, business capability development, and halal industry support and facilitation. How does industry players can utilize HIP? As a buyer, you can search halal products through our HIP database. As a service provider or financial institution, you can engage with halal industry players. For government agencies, you can offer initiatives and programs. Hey, venture capitalists and investors can also seek for unlisted company to invest. For halal professionals, you can access our database for halal ingredient sourcing. Finally, manufacturers and sellers, join us to promote your products and get connected to global supply chain. What are you waiting for? Join us for free as HIP member. Enjoy opportunities and exclusive access and increase visibility in halal industry. Let's go!
Hello everyone, I'm Mizi, and today I'll be showing you on how you can register with HIP. Let's go! First, you need to register your account at hip.hdcglobal.com. Fill in your email, password, and don't forget to tick the box before you proceed. Click Get Started. Success! Next, fill in your personal details on the user profile page and click Update. Success! Most importantly, fill in all information of your company on the business profile page and click Update. Success! Don't forget to fill in the organization information and click Update. Success! Complete your products and services listing here so that your range of products is visible, and here is the example of a completed business profile. And we are done. Easy, isn't it? Register as HIP member and accelerate your business with HDC.
Would you like to turn your dreams into reality? Opportunities rise amidst every challenge. With Bank Islam SME Banking, you can find your doorway to success and hold the power to make every day an exciting prospect. Embark into the halal industry with our Sharia compliant solutions and take your business into the global halal market. You have the power to grow and innovate your business with our financial solutions and services. As the preferred SME financial partner, we are committed to empower those who break barriers in search of bigger opportunities. By providing comprehensive solutions that allow you the ability to expand your business onto a global scale. We have tailored our banking solutions into a streamlined, easy-to-use platform that will support your digital presence. No matter how complex your journey, we at Bank Islam support those who put in the effort to make their dreams come true. And we will be there with you every step of the way.
Director Offshore SME Berhad. Basically, we are a small medium-sized company. Basically, we are the service provider for the oil and gas industry in Malaysia, mainly in Malaysia, for upstream oil and gas. mainly for Petronas Carigali and all other PSC macam Vestigo, Petropet, Siabiska, Shell, Esso, and so on and so forth lah. So mainly for the oil companies in Malaysia. Our focus of area as a service provider is basically more in terms of transportation installation, decommissioning, as well for underwater repair maintenance services in oil and gas industry for the offshore facilities in Malaysia. One day we want Rector Offshore basically to be a leading player in oil and gas service provider in Malaysia as well in Southeast Asia.
Kalau boleh saya katakan tahun 2019 tu it is not quite a good year untuk oil and gas. So kita pergi ke Bank Islam, tapi Bank Islam sambut kita dan bagi kita peluang. Itu adalah financing pertama. Jadi selepas financing pertama yang kita dapat, alhamdulillah pada waktu itu 3-4 bulan selepas tu kita dapat satu lagi projek yang agak besar. Sekali lagi pihak Bank Islam bantu kita, sambut kita sebagai partner, support kita dari segi produk-produk yang sesuai dengan apa yang kita perlukan.
And we started small, but we also have basically wanted to grow. So at the same time, we are also hoping that Bank Islam can be our partner in basically in our growth in the industry. So that's what we are hoping very much for Bank Islam. We treat Bank Islam as our partner in our execution of project. It's not as our only for our banker, but as a partner.
Hello there, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Shilda Ismail and we are currently live from our office of Halal Development Corporation in Petaling Jaya. And welcome to our new campaign series for HIP Live, supported by SME Banking, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. So this is going to be an interesting discussion for today because we shall have two distinguished guests to be speaking on It's Time to Go Halal. So we have heard all the buzz, the trends of putting the value creation of halal into business. We know, the business know that it's clear that halal market has experienced significant growth and captured the attention of businesses, consumers worldwide. While the demand of halal products and services has skyrocketed and creating a massive consumer base. But while it holds tremendous value for many, there are also valid concerns and apprehensions that deserve attention and intervention. So today I'm joined with our CEO of Halal Development Corporation, Encik Hairol Ariffein Sahari. Encik Hairol, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, Shilda. How about you?
I'm good. All right, and we are also joined with Director of SME Banking, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, Encik Rizal Yusof. Encik Rizal, Assalamualaikum. Okay, all right. Encik Rizal, there you go.
Waalaikumsalam, Shilda. Thank you for having me.
All right, okay. So let's get the ball rolling, Encik Hairol. Before we go on, what are the advantages of entering the halal industry? Or as you mentioned, it's a value proposition in terms of first market potential and of course the consumer demand. Let's dive a little on the reality of halal industry so that we can put perspectives on what we should look forward. Can you enlighten us the gap and the potential of halal industry, Hairol?
Thank you for the good question, Shilda. I think we all know was in 2020 when we did the first forecast about the size of the global halal economy, the way we describe it. It was about 3 trillion USD in 2020. And based on our forecast, about 7 to 8% per year in terms of the increment and also the potential increment of the industry by 2030. So we are expected to see and to experience a size of the halal economy about USD 5 trillion. So that is very, very huge. But bear in mind that that is a calculation made totally based on demand created by the Muslim consumers.
Okay.
If we calculate or we include demand by the non-Muslim who are also searching for high quality products, a value proposition that halal bring on the table. So we are actually looking at about USD 30 trillion, 30 trillion size or worth of halal economy throughout the world by 2030. But however, in terms of the supply going into this 3 trillion USD market of halal, is nothing more than 20%. So leaving a huge gap of 80% between supply and also demand. So I just want to share with you my own experience when I was in when HDC team was in Melbourne last year organizing our World Halal Business Conference for the first time outside Malaysia. So when I presented this statistics of this data, and then a journalist asked me a question, a very good question, a similar question that you mentioned just now, you throw to me just now. So if that is the case of supply and demand gap in the halal economy or halal industry throughout the world, so what will be Malaysia strategic response to it? So my answer to her was, if I am left with only 10 to 15% supply and demand gap, so my answer on behalf of Malaysia government during that time is I will compete, and I will compete fiercely. Yeah. But now we are talking about 80% supply and demand gap. So it's huge. The pie is so huge, more than enough for everyone to chew. So the strategic response to it is we should collaborate and cooperate. So if you look at the slide up there, see this 20% supply of halal products into the 3 trillion USD market are supplied by only a few countries, can be considered as big players in halal. For example, Malaysia. Malaysia is a very big player in halal, but we are focusing more on F&B and palm oil-based ingredients. Australia, on the other hand, they pretty much very big. Last year, they exported about almost 20 billion USD worth of meat and meat-based products, but that's about it. You know, their focus is on dairy, meat, and meat-based products. New Zealand is another big player, but they are very big in dairy and goat meat. Thailand, our neighbor, very big in F&B of halal. But if you look at their product very closely, yeah, on the shelf of any markets that you go, so you will find out that their F&Bs, the food and beverages, are mainly fruits and marine or aquaculture based.
Yeah.
And Brazil is another big player in halal. They are focusing on poultry and also cattle meat. And there's another interesting development, I would say. Countries like UAE, Singapore, and Netherlands, these are not a producer of halal goods, but they use halal as value position in their trading. So they position their country as a gateway or as a collection and distribution center of halal goods. So in summary, what can we see, or what can we learn from these statistics, yeah, or this information? Actually, there's no country out there can say that they are champion in halal. So yes, they are big in as a halal player, but they are focusing more on their strength. So this is the good evidence saying that technically, Yashida, even though we keep on saying that halal industry there, but those are norm, meaning that we have been using that norm for the past, I think, maybe 30 to 40 years. But if we want to dive in technically, halal is actually not an industry. It is a value proposition for various products. So what are the products? So if you can look at your right side of the screen, so you can see like 6 or 7 types of products, including processed beverages, meat-based products, cosmetics and personal care, drugs and supplement, ingredients, very interesting industry if you ask me, food and non-food items, and warehousing and also handling that is under the umbrella of halal logistics. So these are the industry that we should focus on. Halal is not just, traditionally we know halal is about processed food and beverages and meat-based products, but I think the world now is increasing in terms of the awareness on halal, and they start moving into a high value item, the non-food item. like cosmetic, personal care, drugs and supplements, ingredients, and also the services that supporting the halal industry as a whole.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hairol. As you mentioned that not only awareness that we need to be heightened, but I guess there's also education and preparedness for you to pursue into halal industry. So we'll be talking that later on. Okay, moving on with Encik Rizal. And Encik Rizal is the Director of SME Banking for Bank Islam. Encik Rizal, I understand that you have a question to CEO, but before that, I would like to ask you with regards to Go Halal financing by SME Banking, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. And so how does, the Go Halal financing initiative contribute to the growth and development of halal industry, both locally and also internationally? Encik Rizal.
Right, Shilda. Before we move on to Go Halal financing, is it appropriate for me to ask a question?
Can.
We have a very, I would say, interesting slide just now, whereby it's a huge potential in terms of halal industry internationally. Yeah, the market outside is huge. Let's say poised to grow to 5 trillion by 2030, or maybe more. Right now it's 3 trillion US dollar. So that is US dollar. So I might have some insights of how much Malaysia's market share at the moment. But given that from HDC, which is a subject matter expert, what would be the latest figure in terms of Malaysia's market share? And as you know, Malaysia is a Muslim country. And is it true that for a Muslim country, we are naturally, we will have a bigger market share in terms of our supply and demand?
Thank you, Rizal. That is a very great question. A very difficult question, actually, to answer. But I will try my best to answer based on my experience, managing this industry for the past 15 years. Based on research done by SDC in 2020, when we started developing our halal industry master plan 2030, so we discovered that the size of halal economy in Malaysia in 2018, this is because the study was done in 2020, so we only have information about the Malaysia halal market in 2018. So in 2018, the size of the domestic halal market in Malaysia is about 68 billion. Yeah, that's ringgit. That's very, very huge. So, no, USD, 68 billion. And we forecast by 2030, it's going to grow to about $113 billion by 2030. And that is a contribution which going to contribute to the total contribution of halal industry to the national GDP of about 10.8% by 2030. So that is the size of potential halal market in Malaysia alone. So without having to look far, yes, we mentioned just now, the size of the halal market was 3 trillion, 5 trillion, but the local market itself is offering a very vast potential for our industry players. And another way to see it, when we look at the number of certified halal companies in Malaysia, based on data provided by Jakim recently, it's nothing more than 8,000 certified halal companies in Malaysia, in the market at the moment, in Malaysia at the moment. But based on our data also received from the SSM, the Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, out there are about 200,000 companies involved in halal-related businesses or industry, which I mentioned earlier: cosmetic, personal care, medical devices, food and beverages, meat and meat-based products, ingredients, 200,000 of them, but only 8,000 are certified halal. So the rest of the population, we are not saying that they are haram or they are forbidden, but they are in category of deemed halal or potentially halal. So this is where we must work hand in hand together, government agencies, the private sectors, or be it at federal or at state level, work together on working very hard, not just increasing the capacity and capability of those already certified halal to go for export market or to go for domestic market, but we must also work very hard to increase the number of certified halal companies in Malaysia. The reason being, okay, it falls back to our performance as a whole, as a country who are deemed as number one in this global, this fastest growing economy of the world. Yes, according to the Global Islamic Economy Index or report, so Malaysia has been number one, top seat for the past 9 years. But again, when we look at the real number here, the macroeconomic number, yes, last year the Malaysia halal export 60 billion ringgit. Fine, good. 63% increase compared to 2022. Very well done. But we are talking about a 3 trillion USD market here. So what is ringgit Malaysia? 60 billion. Entering the USD 3 trillion market is a drop in the ocean. So where are we now actually? So when we dig further, okay, what's the cause? What is the reason behind these small numbers relatively? Yeah. Actually, like back to the data that I shared with you, only 8,000 certified halal companies in Malaysia, and out of that 8,000 certified halal companies, nothing more than 3,000 are exporters. And out of that 3,000 exporters, the SMEs only contribute nothing more than 15% of the 60 billion ringgit our halal export last year. So the rest are contributed by the multinationals and also the large corporations. So if you ask me, as an early conclusion, but not as early as you thought, but it's already 15 years kind of problem that we have at the moment. So we are not, you cannot say that Malaysia is the champion. Yes, we are a very good country, a country with a very good halal governance framework. Our certification is very popular. It is recognized by 84 certification bodies in 47 countries. But that's about it. It's a popularity game, but there's no product and services, because end of the day, the consumer will look for products and services. They don't buy halal logo or certificate. The halal logo and certificate is no use if it's not attached to high quality products and also services. So this is the workload that HDC and other agencies, whether it's within MITI or it's outside MITI, to work closely with the private sectors, both federal and at state level. First is to increase the number of certified halal companies from 8,000 to 20,000 to 30,000, or maybe to 150,000 by 2030. So give me those kind of that KPI, so we can work towards it. And those already certified halal, so we need to work hand in hand again to increase their capacity and also capability, both so that they can start entering the domestic and also international market. So this is the big job that we have at the moment on our table, and as our responsibility as a government agency, and maybe as a financial institution that you are managing at the moment. So of course, going into halal is not easy. It requires investment and it requires capital, of course. So we cannot run away from it, take it or leave it. So this is where HDC is currently working with various financial institutions out there, especially Bank Islam, when you announced the Go Halal Fund and you committed about 100 million to assist our industry players. So I'm very, very grateful with that kind of commitment by Bank Islam. Thank you so much.
Agreed, Encik Hairol. This is where we come in, Bank Islam, where we work in collaboration with Halal Development Corporation, HDC, to develop the halal industry, especially the SMEs, to be able to go for export market.
Okay, so coming back to my question, Rizal, remember that what is the concept of Go Halal? Let's refresh that. What is the Go Halal financing by SME Banking, Bank Islam, Rizal? So that enlighten us again.
Right. Before we dive into the Go Halal financing, again, I just would like to take this opportunity to mention to all of you that Bank Islam is we have just celebrated our 40th anniversary. So we are now 40 years old.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Bank Islam.
July 2022. We started
Wow.
in 1983. So we are 40 years old with 5,000 staff and 135 branches nationwide. So everybody knows what Bank Islam is. And for SME banking per se, we have just started in 2018, and we are looking into providing a comprehensive Sharia compliant solutions to support the growth of SMEs. Now, coming back to your questions,
Yeah.
let me just get it right. So you're saying that how this Go Halal initiative, Go Halal financing, would be able to contribute to the growth and development of the halal industry, both locally and internationally, if I get that correctly. Yeah. So Go Halal financing, to be exact, Go Halal SME financing program in full, or we fondly saying as GHF, is a multi-financing product package that includes term financing, revolving credit, trade facilities designed for the SMEs to embark on halal certified business. So it is the bank's flagship initiative in collaboration with Halal Development Corporation, with an total allocation of 100 million exclusively for eligible SMEs enrolled under HDC's HIP, which is Halal Integrated Platform, to finance their halal certification, consultancy, training costs, the business reducing term takaful, which is their protection, even and mostly will be working capital and capital expenditure, which is a capex. So this GHF is a conceptualized as a strategic collaboration between Bank Islam and HDC with a common goal, which is to develop a complete halal ecosystem for the growth of halal industry in Malaysia, and not just in Malaysia, and also for the export market, to facilitate SME growth in digital transformation and also to improve capacity building. So this collaboration entails the provision of GHF along with Bank Islam's SME Expert mobile app. As you can see, that we have a mobile app for this, our digital halal proposition platform, and also HIP halal ecosystem platform that can pave the way for local business to tap into the larger halal export markets and participate in the nation's halal digital transformation initiatives. Now, the bank also provides the total solutions to cater to the needs of the SMEs through SME exporter financing for the export-ready businesses. We want to equip the SMEs to make them export-ready. We have WinBiz, which is Women in Business Financing, not forgetting the women, and also SME Biz Grow, which is to support the wider segment, including the women entrepreneurs themselves, professional services, and all other businesses in Malaysia. So the collaboration with HDC is aligned with the bank's objective in forging strategic collaboration with the government, private sectors, which we believe that it will contribute towards the knowledge sharing, best practices, and Sharia compliant SME financial solutions that will bring greater value to the customer and SMEs in general. So in summary, I would say that the objective of this collaboration between Bank Islam and HDC in providing GHF and members of Halal Integrated Platform is to assist the SMEs to obtain halal certification and to venture into the local and also global halal industry. That's one. The other one is to assist SMEs to have that competitive edge in the fast evolving market. Thirdly, is to facilitate the SMEs on their digital transformation journey. So we do understand that for a business to have their own digital platform, that can be costly. So we have created an SME halal digital platform that have financings and other information and other things that can be helpful to the development of SMEs, and we aggregate it together within an app so that they can be part of the app and leverage as much as possible. So in this way, the SMEs do not need to have their own digital platform, and they can use our platform and leverage it as much as possible. So in a way, it contributes to support the growth and development of the Malaysian SMEs and the halal industry per se.
Okay, thank you so much, Rizal. All right, for those who likes to know about JHF, you can log on to www.bankislam.com. You can look at the crawler there and you can look up for SME banking. All right, moving on to Encik Hairol. Encik Hairol, I would like to ask this question. I know you're my boss, but have we, HDC, done enough to create or to entice in terms getting more players in the halal industry? I know I'm going to lose my job on this question, but I would like to ask that: have we done, as you mentioned, 15 years, and
Yeah.
the what do you call that? The players is still 8,000, 10,000, hovering with that number, right? So what is it? What are the reasons? Is it because entering halal is difficult, or is it time consuming, or is it costly to get halal certification? What is it? What is the misperception in general?
Okay, this is a very difficult question because I just joined the industry 15 years ago, and the industry has been here since we introduced the first, we call it surat, we call it halal certification letter by Jakim back in 1974. That is like 50 years ago. So yeah, it's true. 1974, Jakim, the Malaysian government through Jakim, issued Malaysia first halal certification letter, uh, basically to protect Muslim consumers during that time against the non-halal food and also beverages. That was the purpose during that time. And then as it grew, we managed to the Malaysian government managed to develop what we call halal governance, part of it. Halal governance. So what is halal governance? That is certification, standard development. When we first introduced our first standard back in 1995, MS 11500. So what happened during that time? Yes, we grow. The whole is a wake up call to the whole world. The whole world now knows, hey, we need a good certification scheme to differentiate between guaranteed halal products and a deemed or potentially halal products, and put aside all those haram products. So that is not included here in this discussion. Yeah, and that happened until the year 2000. The government so focused on the governance side of it, the halal governance side of it. Yes, Malaysia has been very, very popular. It was like a talk shop at OIC at the highest level. So this kind of things. But in year 2000, the government started to realize, hey, we already have a good halal certification framework, a good halal logo, a very nice design halal logo, and we managed to streamline it, between state government, also the federal government during that time. But the biggest question in the early year 2000, era of 2000, where are the products and services? So we are missing the equation is not completed. It cannot solve the issue. So the missing equation is the industry development part of it. So that's the reason why when back in year 2000, if you remember, the halal agenda already started being embedded by the government of Malaysia into various government strategic documents, including the Malaysia Plan, the Industry Master Plan. So halal development agenda has been on top of the Malaysia socio-economic agenda, I think, for the past 30 to 40 years. So that's what happened. So now when we combine both pillar, the halal governance and halal industry development. So halal industry development covers components like production, manufacturing, talent development, industrial standards development, and also conformance, research and development, development of infrastructure, including the halal industrial parks, IoT, and those kind of things. So when we combine those the two pillars, so we successfully develop what we call halal ecosystem, right? So we have a robust and sustainable halal ecosystem at the moment, and like I said earlier, our ecosystem, the community that doing business within the halal ecosystem is about 200,000 of them. 8,000 are certified halal. So your question whether we have done enough or not, yes, in terms of the structure, the house is very nice. the house is very robust, very strong. The supply chain is very vibrant for the past 50 years, but we do not have enough players, enough quality players in the market. So in short, we do not have enough homegrown halal champion. So you cannot say that you are a champion of the world without showing who are your champions behind you. You know, this is one dilemma which I always face when I did my lecture or did my info sharing outside Malaysia. So when I said that, oh, Malaysia is number one in terms of report A, report B, report C, but when they ask me, who are your champions? So I start to counting my fingers. So okay, we have Ramli, we have Ibrahim, we have, then come to number 7 or 6, I lost count already. You know, so I cannot say like Nestle or FNN. So those are multinationals. You know, those are not Malaysian companies. So where are the Malaysian companies, Malaysian homegrown or champions that we are grooming for the past 50 years? So it is robust. The ecosystem is robust, but it is not sustainable in the long run. Because if you want to see a very sustainable ecosystem or industry in the long run, you must not look at the multinationals. The multinational, sorry to say, they come and go. 20 years ago, they come to Malaysia because Malaysia provide them with every single incentives, grant, land, and everything for them to grow here. But end of the day, it's about business decision. And when the government fail to provide competitive or provide a good cost of doing business or a better cost of doing business for the operation here, so they don't see any reason why they have to stay. And that's the reason why when we move from an economic level that we have previously to a high value economic ecosystem that we have, so many of the multinationals have to leave the country simply because the ecosystem does not supporting their business anymore, vis-a-vis. So by right, they are supposed to be the anchor for the ecosystem, creating more opportunity for our SMEs. But it turned the other way around. They are not enjoying what they have enjoyed for the past 20 years. So they moved to a country like Vietnam, which is similar like Malaysia 30 to 40 years ago. So looking for a lower cost of doing business, and also especially on the manpower and also ingredients and also the raw materials over there. So again, we have done well in terms of promoting the halal industry, halal economy throughout the world. When I first joined HDC, my predecessor brought me to the whole world, looking at halal development happening, in various countries. Yes, during that time, only 2 or 3 countries knows about halal or have idea about what halal is all about. Halal industry is all about. But now, through various promotional and vigorous promotional activities done by Malaysia through various agencies, including HDC, even JAKIM, and even Matrade. So it is safe to say, it is very strongly, I can say that the whole world now talks about halal from economic development standpoint. So that is very good. But we cannot stop there. We cannot be only cheerleader, cheerleading this industry while other people are playing our game. So this is something that we do not want to continue. So that is in terms of the promotional, in terms of framework, it's very high in our government agenda. But I think the focus now is to elevate the level of our industry by elevating our SMEs, to become our homegrown halal champion.
Okay, that's the key word actually, the homegrown halal champion, and that could be also, be complemented by the financial institution such as Bank Islam. So, Encik Rizal, perhaps you can also give us some, insights. Perhaps, this could be an initiative, HDC and also Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, to, to find or to entice these homegrown players into halal industry. Encik Rizal, what do you think?
Well, definitely that is one of our main agenda within Bank Islam itself, not just SME banking. We have other divisions as well. So we are looking into developing homegrown companies, starting from SMEs, where they are able to cater to the halal market locally as a start. And once they have migrated to being a bigger companies, or graduated to become bigger companies, or maybe a public listed company, that is where they would be able to go into export market to become an export ready, and not just HDC that we are working with. We are also working with people like Matrade, SME Corp, for the programs and development of these SMEs. So talking about export market, we have also been working very closely with Matrade to assist these companies to go and penetrate the export market. And we are able to provide those type of financing, even from GHF or Go Halal financing standpoint, and even outside the package that is tailor-made to the specific companies depending on their needs. So again, to reiterate, what would be the Bank Islam's journey to develop these companies to be an export-ready company and penetrate the local as well as the international market. Yes, we start from the very beginning, from cradle until the company has become big or bigger towards the end.
Thank you so much, Encik Rizal. Okay, but before we go to Encik Hairol, so prior to our talk show, HIP has conducted a survey to understand the market demands and perception on Sharia compliant financing among the companies in Malaysian halal industry. So we give out this survey to our HIP member. So this is to derive the challenges that SMEs face in the subscribing in the financial facilities. So among of the the kesimpulan of this of what we got from the survey is, number one is low awareness on available Islamic financing for businesses, and then also they find that they have this fear of rejection. Financing application was rejected, and then some of it they have mentioned that they are unsure where to begin with. And also, they have also mentioned that they wish to understand how to improve credit rating. So, Cik Rizal, perhaps you can briefly elaborate on how do you, find solution to what they have mentioned on this understanding, Rizal.
Yes, I will not elaborate that in great detail because we have other sessions that will be looking into financial literacy and financial discipline. But what I can say is that we understand the importance of addressing the gaps that is present in the economy, with particular focus on halal economy. And within SME banking, the packages that we have established is to provide the tailored Islamic financing solutions to meet the unique and evolving needs of the SMEs in particular, because we understand that different companies will have different needs, and that is where we tailor-made to the specific needs to the individual companies. Now, over the past 2 years since we launched GHF, we find that most applications were rejected due to incomplete documentations or unhealthy credit rating that has impacted the results of the financing applications. So as a follow-up to of this talk show later on, Bank Islam together with HIP will be conducting more engagement in the following weeks to explain in depth to all the HIP members or those who are interested, who wants to log in and to see further deliberation on how we want to strengthen your personal and business credit score, what are documentations that is required when applying for financing, the financing and banking solution that is available from Bank Islam, and support programs provided by the government agencies for the SMEs.
Okay, thank you, Rizal. And for those out there, for you, if you are interested to know on the workshops and also our webinar series, we'll be conducting together with Bank Islam SME Banking on how to improve your credit rating. So we will have it online and also on a physical workshop. Yeah. So in order for you to attend to this, you need to register. I think we have our Google form on our comment section, so you can register, and we hope to see you on these events that we are conducting. Okay, moving on. Speaking on fear of rejection, there's another fear of rejection. Encik Hairol senyum saja sebab Shilda nak tanya soalan. Another fear of rejection is fear of getting the halal certification rejected. There's another fear. Okay, so I would like to ask you, these are simple, because whenever I go to see our SMEs, the first thing they will ask me, halal certification ni susah nak dapat, kan, betul tak, Cheryl? And then susah nak dapat, lama, mahal. Those are the first line of response some of the SMEs has mentioned. So what are your tips to ensure a smooth and error-free process when obtaining halal certification?
Okay, thank you. There's another difficult question actually, but yeah, I can answer that. Well, okay, to answer that question, we must first understand what are the issues. Yeah, maybe we can show the slide on the misperception and reality first. Okay, we must understand the issue here. Okay.
Tasha, the producer, can use slide number 19. Okay, the other another one. Okay, go.
Okay. This slide shows you a clear narrative about the issue between the misperceptions and realities among industry players, in particular the MSMEs. Yeah. So for us, there are 3 misperceptions and there are also 3 realities here. The misperception, you are correct, Shilda. They misperceive that getting halal is difficult. Getting halal is costly in terms of money and time, but in reality, actually, the SMEs lack preparations and also access to capital and the right expertise. So this is the issue number 1 that we are facing at the moment. Getting halal is similar like sitting an exam for an exam. If you are not ready for that exam, go and get your tutor, you join your study group, you read your book, you read your literature. So this is something that you need to do before you even think about applying for the halal certificate. And in Malaysia, halal is still voluntarily in nature. There's no act that force you to get certified halal. But once you are certified halal, okay, the government will enforce that, make sure there's no fraud and everything, etc., etc. Okay, this is misperception and reality number 1. So get yourself ready before you even think to submit your application to JAKIM or any authority that you have or nearby your factory or your operation. Right? That's misperception and reality number 1. Number 2 is on the value that the halal bring to the operations. Yeah, because the SMEs out there, it's not just they are not just talking about. We are not just talking about the new applicants. What about those already approved halal certificate, but they feel that they do not been enjoying the value that halal bring to their cash flow, because the expectation, because of the misperception number 1, so it carries to number 2. So the expectation that they put by being halal is very, very high. I give you an example. Before a company, maybe before they got the halal certificate, maybe they are already exporting to 2 countries, but with halal certificate, the expectation is, yay, tomorrow I will stamp the halal logo very, very prominently in my product packaging, and tomorrow my product is going to be as good as Nestle. I can export to any part of the world because I am certified halal. My product is certified halal now. So that is the misperception. But actually, in reality, the capacity, the capability, and the access to market must be enhanced. So marketing. Jangan berat mulut. You must very confident with your products, and definitely there are plenty of agencies and also institutions out there are willing to assist you in terms of your commercialization and also marketing. So that is a work to be done by the SMEs. The government agencies are not here to do or to make business decision on your behalf. You are the entrepreneurs. You must make your own business decision. Am I correct, Cik Rizal? Right?
Very correct. Very
Yeah.
true.
So that is misperception and reality number two. And number three, this is very famous. Blame everything to the government. So the government does not do this, the government does not do that, the government does
Yeah.
not fail to support me, this and that. So that
Throw
is
them
common.
under the bus.
As players where, blame me on everything. But and another thing is they do not know who to contact or where to get help, especially in this halal industry. This is real. Even though this is misperception, but actually, if you ask me, I can understand the issue among the industry players, not in Malaysia, um, also happening industry players outside Malaysia who wish to come to Malaysia. Just imagine that they've flown from their respective country to Malaysia and expecting to learn about halal. Once they land on at KLIA, and then they start thinking, where do I go? Is it Jakim? Is it HDC? Is it Bank Islam? Or is it Matrade? Or is it SME Bank? Or is it SME Corp? Or whatever?
Yeah.
So they do not know where to go actually, because halal is so diverse. It can be food and beverages. It can be meat and meat-based product. Do I go to Ministry of Agriculture? If I am in logistics, do I go to Ministry of Transportation? So this is the dilemma among the industry players. So in reality, the SMEs are totally confused with roles and of various agencies involved in the halal matters, and information not at the fingertips. So that's the reason why the Malaysian government gave HDC the big mandate to become the central coordinator for all matters regarding halal business ecosystem available or agenda in Malaysia. So, and that's the reason why we created HIP, to represent HDC in the virtual world. HIP is like our avatar in the virtual world. And with HIP, there are partners like Bank Islam who are offering something that HDC alone cannot do. Because HDC being a government agency, being a GLC, we have our own scope of work, and we have no business in duplicating other agencies and of course other private sectors. But this is where partnership come into play. So in HIP now, we have like almost 66, I think 70 partners altogether, including Bank Islam, very, very good partner that we have. I remember Encik Rizal, when we first announced the 100 million GHF Go Halal Fund, it was a wake-up call to the industry. Hey, actually, there are big player now, like Bank Islam, who are willing to commit that sum of money to assist our industry players. So that is the issues behind the framework that HDC has been introducing for the past to our business case. So we can go to the next slide that you showed just now. Yeah. Again, for me, getting halal certificate is not difficult, because it is rather inclusive than exclusive. Everyone can actually get halal certificate if they know how to do it. I do not want to argue about legislations. I do not want to argue about regulations. I do not want to argue about any acts or enactment. They are there. Bureaucracy is there. Bureaucracy are there for a reason. So the job here is how to work around those bureaucracy and get the job done. So that is my motto. I think Shida knows, he works under me for the past, I think 3 years, just get the job done, So yes, how to be halal certified. So let's go to the things that we know first. We know that there are plenty international standards which various of industry players out there already knew or applied. Example, GMP, good manufacturing practice. HACCP, hazard analysis, critical control points. The FDA, the ISO. So these are the common industry standards. And to become halal or to be certified halal, we just need to do 3 things. Number 1 is to hire or train a full-time halal skilled personnel. So who are they? They are a group of people or a practitioner, a halal practitioner, which we can call them by the name of halal executive or halal internal auditors, or halal consultants or advisors. These are the people who are going to help you to develop what we call halal certification operational framework. Okay, these are the people who are going to represent you when dealing with organization like SDC. So our consultants here in SDC will work with your halal executive or halal internet auditor. Then we will advise accordingly on what to do from A to Z, inshallah. Okay. Then secondly, get certified halal ingredients, because halal ingredients is key, because you cannot produce a certified halal and goods without having all your ingredients to be introduced into your production line certified halal by JAKIM or body recognized by JAKIM. That is mandatory. That is stated in the standard, that is stated in the halal certification scheme. You cannot get away from it. So this is one of the biggest issue faced by industry players, not just among the SMEs, but also among the multinationals and large corporations. Even company as big as Nestle, 113 years already in Malaysia, also face the issue of they cannot reach their maximum halal production simply because they don't have enough access to certified halal ingredients. So this is very, very key. That's the reason why through HIP, one of the modules that we have is halal access to data on halal ingredients. So that is linked to our halal consultancy and advisory, whereby if any SMEs out there know where they can source the potentially certified halal ingredient, let us know so we can contact the ingredient supplier and get them to be certified halal, and the supply chain can get connected. So it's all about connecting the supply chain. Yeah. And of course, last but not least, we must tweak a bit our premises storage and layout. Not the entire factory or the entire restaurants that you need to renovate. So tweak a bit, your premises storage and also layout. So again, must be being halal and more, about being halal and also more, or you already have whatever international standard that you have, and you just need to add 2 or 3 items. So, and then voila, you are now certified halal. Okay. I do have one slide talking about the pre, during, and also post approval. So that is to answer Shilja's question just now.
Okay, I'm afraid I did not prepare that slide. I'm so sorry on that. I was thinking
no,
of you.
I just in summary. Okay, when you ask me about how to ensure a smooth and error-free process when obtaining halal, again, I do not want to show process flow. It's boring, it's confusing. Just remember 3 main phases that can be considered as your journey, your halal journey. The first phase is the pre-approval. The second phase is approval. The third phase is post-approval. During the pre-approval, you must get yourself well trained, well consulted, well advised. You must already have access to your halal raw materials. You also must have access to halal executives or internal auditors. You must have access to the capital which Bank Islam can provide you, inshallah. And you must know your market, where you want to export your product, or where you want to put your product, which hypermarket that you want to put your product. So what are the costs required? So those are the information and the homework that you need to do before you submit your actual application to formal application to the authority. In this case, in Malaysia case, is JAKIM. So during the approval, what JAKIM is going to do is they will complete the audit process, and they will provide you approval. 2 types of approval, whether it is outright approval or conditional approval. Right. So if it is conditional approval, come back to HDC and we will assist you in meeting all those conditions. And sometimes you got rejected or because of non-conformance, but that's okay. Sometimes isi borang tak betul apa semua, macam Cik Rizal cakap tadi, borang dokumen tak cukup, fair. When dealing with the government agencies, that happen. But it's okay. Again, come back to SDC. We will help you to rectify all those issues and help you to resubmit your application back to JAKIM so that you can get approval as soon as possible. And not to forget, once you got the halal certificate, now you are entering a post-approval phase. So once you got the halal certificate, what's next? You need to be prepared for renewal 2 years down the road. The preparation for renewal in halal must start a day after you got the approval. You cannot be like one day you are halal, tomorrow your halal executive resign, and then you only have the replacement like 2 weeks or 2 months down the road baru ada replacement. So you cannot have that.
Yeah.
So this is where the halal assurance system come into play. Again, SDC will come and assist you to make sure that your halal integrity is upheld throughout the supply chain. That is very, very important. And the rest is just a business decision, going export, going to entering the local market. You want to go to IPO, or you want to diversify your product, or you want to increase your capacity, you want to have a bigger factory, you want to relocate your factory maybe from a cottage industry to a proper industrial land. So those are business as usual for any SMEs or any business outfit out there. So again, SDC is very, very dominant in the two phases, which is the pre-approval and also the post-approval. So this is where we come in together with all the partners like Bank Islam to assist you in order for you to have an enjoyable journey throughout being halal and more.
All right. Thank you so much, Hairol. As a matter of fact, I am currently having a enjoyable talk show at this point of time, and I anticipated that it's going to overrun in our production. It's already 1 hour, but it's okay since this company is anchored by you. It's okay, so we can do it more than 1 hour. All right. So moving on to Rizal. Rizal, I think you have a question for Hairol.
I wouldn't say
So,
a question, but I would like to comment a bit about what have been shared by Hairol.
Yeah.
I would agree, and I think all the initiatives that is being done by HDC as well as other government agencies resonates well with what Bank Islam is doing. Yeah, because we recognize the fact that SMEs sometimes they don't know where to go. Yeah, well, whether to go to the bank, how to get financing, and not just financing, because we don't actually see our customers as just customers or consumers or customers who wants to take up financing or loan per se. We see them as partners, because what are the value proposition that we can give to the SMEs and to our customers, and not just financing, I would say. We can connect them with people like HDC, our partner in terms of getting the halal certification. We can connect them with other agencies like Matrade if they're going for export. We can connect even with MIDA if they're looking at domestic investment as well as foreign investment, and even SME Corp if they want to go through programs, training programs for the SMEs and whatnot. But having said that, so we are saying that it is not just financing that we are offering, but also all those connectivity with the government agencies, with the private sectors, and of course with the bank. Lastly, because that is where we would be able to give financial support to these companies to grow further.
Okay, thank you so much, Rizal. All right, so moving on. So we have I can give it about 15 minutes that we can somehow discuss. Hairol, briefly, perhaps you can also share with us with regards to Halal Industry Master Plan. Coming from a business point of view, how does it help the entrepreneurs? You have the plan. So coming from the POV of entrepreneurs, how does it help my business? What are the emerging sectors that we can see in the future? Hairol.
We can show a slide on the master plan. Yes, it's all about elevating Malaysia halal agenda to the next level. Malaysia must become more prominent, visible, and globalized. The word globalized there is really give me a goosebump, because the mandate given by me as CEO of SDC is to internationalize the halal agenda. Because before this we were quite reserved in terms of our knowledge. Because halal. So now we realize that the halal supply chain got disrupted very, very badly during the COVID-19 pandemic period. And the reason behind it is not connected. I give an example. Yes, Malaysia halal logo is well accepted in 46 countries, but the fact behind it is we know that there are 150 countries out there that possess a local halal certification body. So why are we limiting our supply chain to only 46 countries? Why not 150 countries? So that is the idea of the halal ecosystem. Go global, go internationalize, share our knowledge, and end of the day, we want to connect Malaysia halal ecosystem and halal ecosystem available in other part of the world. So that is the gist about the halal industry master plan. Yes, our halal ecosystem is the most mature because we are 50 years old and we enjoy organic growth for the past 50 years, but other countries has their own potential, but they are not as mature as us. So it's our job for us to level the playing game. It's our job so that we can assist them in elevating their halal industry. So benda macam ni bukan kita dapat kosong. We will not like those misperceptions out there saying that bila you ajar orang lain jadi pandai nanti dia potong kita. Itu pemikiran kolot, if you ask me, right? So we teach other people so that they can do business with us. You cannot be ayam and itik. You must have people who can understand your language. So end of the day, we want a seamless halal product movement from Malaysia to other part of the world, to other countries who are also embracing our standard, also embracing the way of we managing or we growing our halal industry. So it's about getting the product to our country and we export the product to their country, and people, the brothers and sisters out there, have a better access to the certified halal products and goods. So that is the gist of the master plan. So in the master plan, we have 7 strategic thrusts altogether, covering all aspects in terms of building a better ecosystem halal, starting from policy and legislations up to creating a homegrown halal champion, and of course focusing very, very much on Bumiputra. So I'm not shy, this is something that we must discuss. Bumiputra must enjoy the benefit from the halal industry better than the rest, because this is an industry where Bumiputra must capitalize. I'm not saying that we are going to menidakkan peluang atau opportunity for the others, but Bumiputra being Muslim by default in Malaysia, so this is the industry that they need to champion. So these are the sectors that we are focusing. Of course, food and beverages is there, but there are others which we are going to put more emphasis, which if you ask me, more high value, for example, like cosmetic, personal care, and also pharmaceuticals. So there are also emerging sectors like medical devices. When I mention medical devices, we are not talking about stethoscopes ataupun katil hospital, but we are talking about implants, we are talking about sutures, things that we have to embed, we have to insert in our body, which we know in the market at the moment, many of them are produced by non-halal materials such as animal bones, etc., etc. So those are the core sectors that we are focusing on. And of course, as HDC, being the secretariat for the Malaysia Halal Industry Development Council, a council chaired by our beloved Yang Berhormat Deputy Prime Minister. So he launched the master plan during the first day of Ramadan, Alhamdulillah. And the mandate given to us is very, very, it is a tall order if you ask me, but it's something that we need to do. Kita dah ketinggalan, I think about 20 years, other countries are catching up. It is an eye-opener, fine. I mentioned earlier that we need to collaborate and cooperate, but the idea of keeping Malaysia, retaining Malaysia in the top spot when it comes to halal, the podium must be ours, when it comes to halal. So it's very important for us to always innovate and also move to the next level. So while people are talking about food and beverages, now we're talking about cosmetic, personal care, and medical devices. Now we're talking about if other people or other country only started to talk about the production and manufacturing. Now we are start talking about the ESG, UN SDG, how to get things are more sustainable and in trend, following the trend that that introduced by the authority out there in terms of making the world more comfortable and also more sustainable for anak cucu kita, insyaAllah.
Okay, all right. Moving on to Rizal. Yeah, I would like to ask you a question with regards to understanding financial literacy amongst the SMEs. How does having a solid understanding of financial literacy, education, make them better and educated decision in terms of allocating their resources more efficiently? Rizal.
Right. Thank you, Shilda. I would say that most of my sessions or events, I will stress upon financial literacy and also financial discipline. So this is for fairly important for SMEs to know, so that they know the importance of ensuring financial records are updated regularly, on the need for them to have financial discipline and to ensure good and proper credit history and payment records are all in order, to have a better financial planning for the company to expand further, and not not to have not for a company not to have an excessive borrowing as compared to their income, which we term is overgeared. So if a company is borrowing too much, then they are they are in a position where they are over trading, and they might not be able to pay the financial obligation. So all these are very important to keep our financial records, our conduct at check, as well as to ensure that we have a better financial planning where the company is concerned. So a solid understanding of all the financial literacy whilst having a financial discipline will help elevate the risk of rejection by the bank on financing applications. So we want to approve as much as we can, and we want to help the SMEs to grow further and giving them the financial assistance needed to grow their companies.
Okay, with regards to financial literacy and also education, so HIP and also Bank Islam, the SME Banking is also conducting an online workshop. It's called a webinar series. So if you are interested, SME out there, and especially HIP members, you need to be a HIP member in order for you to attend to this online webinar. You can register. There's a form there at our comment section, registration form for Go Halal Financing by Bank Islam webinar series. So places are limited, yeah, and also we will conduct a physical workshop as well as online. Do register, and from there we can have a sort of like a education with regards to financial literacy and also the overview of halal industry. Okay, so we have say about 5 to 10 minutes. I can give a leeway on this topic because I have my CEO. Like I say, I have to give chance to my CEO. Okay, all right. Okay, moving on. Yeah. Is there a gyro? In terms of at the end of the day, I'm sure those watching are businessmen. What are the HDC's role in halal business facilitation? What are the framework? Briefly, Ajay Hairol, I know you can spend another 2 hours to speak on that. All right. What are the framework? What's next?
There are three things that I love to talk like 7-8 hours, without stop, which is halal, football, and Bumi Putra. Three things.
Okay.
Okay. This is the framework. Thank you, Shida, for showing this. Again, the outcomes is all about increasing halal export, attracting investment, and also creating employment opportunities. That is our so-called mecca, the place that we want to go. Yeah, and the outputs, we must increase the number of certified halal companies, halal exporters, and halal industry professionals. So back to our discussion earlier. So I just want to focus on the 4 items that we do, totally to answer all the issues and challenges faced by industry players, whether they are certified halal or whether they are not yet certified halal. It's okay. In HDC, our approach is very holistic. If you're not yet certified halal, that's okay. Come, you can join the bandwagon, and we have prepared for you your own market space and also marketplace. So once you are ready to become a bigger player, okay, let's turn your operation into halal, and then you can start enjoying, a more complex market out there. No point of being halal, but when you expose yourself to any food expo or any trade expo over there, and then the trader come and see you, I like your product, but I want 10 containers per month, starting next month. And then you start, wow, okay, I cannot supply. But you are certified halal. So that's the issue, You are certified halal, but you cannot supply. So what's the point? So why not we grow from one stage to another, one step at a time, so that once you are certified halal, so you can answer all those demand, all those inquiry, all those requirement imposed by the international business community out there. So 4 items, yeah. We as SGC, we provide these 4 intervention. Number 1, access to funding, access to financing, and access to incentives. No one, right? You ask any business community out there, they want this as number 1. If you do not have this, you are not relevant. Right? Number 2 is access to market space and marketplace. Like I mentioned earlier, by being halal, they want to enjoy a bigger market space. They want to enjoy a more efficient marketplace. One can expose them to a bigger market worldwide. Okay, number 2. Number 3 is enhancing marketing capabilities. Once they got halal, how can they improve their packaging? How they can commercialize their product in hypermarkets. So what are the requirements needed? Nak buat nutritional fact macam mana? Want to have barcode macam mana? So these are the things that will enhance the marketing capabilities of one product produced by our SMEs. And of course, last but not least, promoting talent and thought leadership. So about knowledge, halal is a knowledge-driven industry. So you must have a proper talent managing your corporation. We can start by going into being a member of HIP and start hiring those graduates yang tak ada kerja di luar sana looking for job to become your halal executive or halal internal auditor. And we also have programs for TVET education level. If you need competent people, anak-anak muda kita to run your factory, to manage your machineries and equipments, yes, we have those people within trained by our training institutes, registered under our halal integrated platform. You can go there and you can start offering them jobs, and inshallah they will make your halal world easier. So these are the 4 items that we provide, and I want to re-emphasize here that not all can be provided directly by STC because we have limited resources, we have limited mandate, and we must focus on our objective as a facilitator to the whole ecosystem. This is where partners like Bank Islam come into play. Those are not the intervention that we are not able to provide directly, so the partners will come as a family to assist these industry players to grow and to become a better player in the halal supply chain, inshallah.
Okay, thank you so much, Encik Hairol. Okay, moving on to Encik Rizal. Let's go back again to our Go Halal financing. There are some questions prior the talk show. Questions are there any specific criteria or requirement that businesses need to meet in order to qualify for Go Halal financing? And Rizal, in case the company doesn't have a halal certification yet, can they still apply for Go Halal financing?
Right. Okay, I'm just going to briefly walk through what Go Halal financing is all about. It is not just in the form of term financing or term loan. We have business financing, which is a term financing, business cash line, which is some people would like to term it as OD, that is a conventional, or multi-trade financing, that is trade finance. Yeah. And the financing amount is up to 1 million for sole prop and partnership, so proprietor and partnership, and up to 3 million for SME Berhad. But be mindful that let's not limit ourselves to the numbers, because if your requirement goes further than 3 million, then we would be able to tailor-make outside the package based on your requirement. But for Go Halal financing, we normally start for 3 million and below. Now, let's look at the eligibility criteria in terms of providing in-depth info on the eligibility criteria in the upcoming HIP as well. That is what we do in the online webinar. But let me just briefly tell you what our eligibility criteria is. Number 1 is applicants, they must be registered member of Halal Integrated Platform. If not, they are on the way to register with HIP. Yeah.
Register today now.
yeah. We will still give, but we will get the customers to register with HIP. And then
Thank
the
you.
customer must be a private limited partnership or sole proprietor company or professional services. Must be a Sdn Berhad or even Berhad. And it must fall within the SME definition of SME Corporation Malaysia. Sorry, I contradict myself over there, but it should be SMEs. And most importantly, receiving the advisory services and participating in training offered by HDC. Yeah, so this is very important because we work very closely with HDC when it comes to Go Halal financing. Yeah. And then lastly, the business have to be in operation for at least 3 years and earn a profit of at least 2 years from out of the 3 years. Now, for the onboarding process, the bank will conduct the verification of the required documents, form due diligence, credit risk assessment, the normal thing that a bank would do, a financier would do when looking into credit proposal or credit application. So once we have onboarded as a SME bank clientele, we will onboard these SMEs into our SME expert as an SME expert merchant partners. That is our SME expert platform where they would be able to promote their business, their products and services on our mobile app platform at no cost or no commission fee. So it's free. It's free for the SMEs to leverage on our platform to register their business, to promote their business and products and services, and even give promotional discounts within the platform with the intention to promote and for greater outreach, product outreach. Now, let me just talk to you a bit about our SME mobile app, SME Expert mobile app. It is a digital halal ecosystem with a comprehensive one-stop platform to assist the SMEs. With one touch point, we will be able to look at the business resources, guide through the articles, economic reports, videos and solutions and whatnot. And of course, you would be able to look into the finding the best financing solutions for the business and also personal needs. And also, most importantly, you would be able to advertise your business offerings and also your business, yeah, per se, in enjoying offers from other merchants and partners as well. So we are connecting not just through the government agencies and also B2B, business to business, whereby you can find your suppliers there, you can find your buyers there, all within the same platform. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Rizal. There you go. We've been discussing and dissecting on the halal overview with Encik Hairol and also Encik Rizal. Thank you so much, Encik Hairol and also Encik Rizal, for being with us in a special program on a campaign series together with Bank Islam supporting halal ecosystem. Yeah, so that's all we have for this session. I wish we can have a further episode 2, but we can discuss further. Maybe we can have an episode 2 to discuss further. Actually, I have a question coming from a LinkedIn user, and the question is it mentioned here a very eye-opening discussion. If I may ask, if there is any fund from either HDC or HIP or Bank Islam for research grant, especially for university researcher on halal R&D. As we know, halal food demand increases rapidly recently, where I believe we need to explore the latest technology for food production, such as cellular agriculture. So I think, Jaro, perhaps you can take up this question. You're pretty much a researcher and a biotech person.
HDC been recognized by the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation as neutral entity, they call it. We have this program called iConnect. So what do we connect? So we connect the research world with the industry world.
Yes.
Right? So that research people, they do research, innovation, and those kind of things. So industry world must be able to pick it up. So, but there's a big, huge gap in between research and also industry. So sometimes the research world say that this product is commercial ready, but the industry say that it is not commercial ready. So there are many things that we need to do in between. So this is what HDC is doing at the moment. On top of that, we also have a couple of programs that support this research and development, including those available from various agencies like MTDC. Who else? and a couple more agencies under the Ministry of Science and Technology Innovation, which is also a member of HIP. So this is where when I talk about holistic approach, so when I mentioned just now the HIP is for industry players, that also include researchers and also innovators out there, and also the professionals. So you can also be a member of integrated platform and enjoy or explore whatever you can, or whatever you're interested in through in the halal ecosystem through HIP. And I would love to urge university that you are representing to become partners of HIP. So you need to let us know what kind of research that you have. You know, you can publish the research or the papers in HIP, and we can also assist you in getting funding, or we can also assist you in raising fund or getting the venture capitals to fund your project or your future project. So this is the beauty about HIP. It is very inclusive, not exclusive. You know, everyone can be part of it. You know, everyone can enjoy what we are offering. It's like a yellow pages of halal. You know, it's a LinkedIn of halal. You can call it a FB of halal, or Twitter of halal. So it's all about network. So halal industry need a very strong network. So that is what HIP is all about. That's what HDC is all about. You know, is create more vibrant ecosystem for the betterness of the entire community.
Okay, fantastic, Encik Hairol. All right. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for being with us. That's all we have for today's show. Do share this video to further spread the awareness, and I would like to say that ignite the interest into getting halal for your business value proposition. So I would like to say here, it's time to go halal. It's time to go halal funding. So if you need details and getting more information on HIP, you can see at the crawler there. It's free. Register as a HIP member. And if you wish to understand and know the further details on Go Halal funding, you can also log on to bankislam.com. We will also conduct online meetings. It's called a webinar, and also a physical workshop for the first touch base in halal industry in support of Go Halal funding by SME Banking, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. So there's a form there. Please register. Places are very, very limited, and we welcome you, especially if you are an HIP member. So be equipped in the halal industry and be a HIP member. Register hip.hdcglobal.com. With that, I'm Shilda Ismail. Thank you so much, and see you again. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Hairol. Thank you, Rizal.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Shilda.
Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Mizi, and today I'll be showing you on how you can register with HIP. Let's go! First, you need to register your account at hip.hdcglobal.com. Fill in your email, password, and don't forget to tick the box before you proceed. Click Get Started. Success! Next, fill in your personal details on the user profile page and click Update. Success! Most importantly, fill in all information of your company on the business profile page and click Update. Success! Don't forget to fill in the organization information and click Update. Success! Complete your products and services listing here so that your range of products is visible, and here is the example of a completed business profile. And we are done. Easy, isn't it? Register as HIP member and accelerate your business with HDC.
Would you like to turn your dreams into reality? Opportunities rise amidst every challenge. With Bank Islam SME Banking, you can find your doorway to success and hold the power to make every day an exciting prospect. Embark into the halal industry with our Sharia compliant solutions and take your business into the global halal market. You have the power to grow and innovate your business with our financial solutions and services. As the preferred SME financial partner, we are committed to empower those who break barriers in search of bigger opportunities. By providing comprehensive solutions that allow you the ability to expand your business onto a global scale. We have tailored our banking solutions into a streamlined, easy-to-use platform that will support your digital presence. No matter how complex your journey, we at Bank Islam support those who put in the effort to make their dreams come true. And we will be there with you every step of the way.
Director Offshore SME Berhad. Basically, we are a small medium-sized company. Basically, we are the service provider for the oil and gas industry in Malaysia, mainly in Malaysia, for upstream oil and gas, mainly for Petronas Carigali and all other PSC macam Vestigo, Petrofet, Hibiscus, Shell, Esso, and so on and so forth. So, mainly for the oil companies in Malaysia. Our focus of area as a service provider is basically more in terms of transportation installation, decommissioning, as well for underwater repair maintenance services in oil and gas industry for the offshore facilities in Malaysia. One day we want Director Offshore basically to be a leading player in oil and gas service provider in Malaysia as well in Southeast Asia.
Kalau boleh saya katakan tahun 2019 tu it is not quite a good year untuk oil and gas. So kita pergi ke Bank Islam, tapi Bank Islam sambut kita dan bagi kita peluang. Itu adalah financing pertama. Jadi selepas financing pertama yang kita dapat, alhamdulillah pada waktu itu 3-4 bulan selepas tu kita dapat satu lagi projek yang agak besar. Sekali lagi pihak Bank Islam bantu kita, sambut kita sebagai partner, support kita dari segi produk-produk yang sesuai dengan apa yang kita perlukan.
And we started small, but we also have basically wanted to grow. So at the same time, we are also hoping that Bank Islam can be our partner in basically in our growth in the industry. So that's what we are hoping very much for Bank Islam. We treat Bank Islam as our partner in our institutional project. It's not as our only for our banker, but as a partner.